Wake Forest with a bounce-back effort after the loss to Army last week with a big conference win over Virginia this afternoon, 27-20. Mark Rogers TV with some instant analysis as we bring in Robert Reinhard from Blogger So Dear, the best source to talk Wake Forest football. And Robert, congratulations, bowl eligibility for the first time since 2011 with that key sixth victory at 6-3 now.
Yeah, it's an exciting time for sure. I mean, going into the season, we thought we would have a real legitimate chance at bowl eligibility, sort of looking at the schedule. Definitely didn't think we would maybe lock it up this early with a win against Virginia. Virginia was a win we thought we would probably need if we were going to get to that elusive sixth win. But, sort of realistically speaking, I think a lot of us thought if we were going to get that sixth win, it might have not happened until the final week of the season when we end up playing Boston College. So it's all gravy from here. As you mentioned, we lost to Army last week. That was a game a lot of Wake fans really were expecting to get that bowl eligible win after we already had 5 wins. A bit of a disappointment here, but definitely a really exciting game for the Deacons today.
Hey, Robert, you might as well the standings right now in the ACC right now with the win. You're 3-2. You're in third place. You're ahead of Florida State. So the Seminoles kick off at 7 o'clock. So you might want to do that before 7 o'clock because it looks really good right now.
Yeah, I might want to take that screenshot if they beat us a few weeks ago. So I think they own the tiebreaker against us based on how it works out. But we still have to play a few teams called Clemson and Florida, Clemson and Louisville. So going to be difficult for sure.
Throwing 10 passes, not maybe necessarily the most exciting football for most college football fans, but John Wolford at 9 of 10, getting the job done and relying on the running game to get this thing going.
Yeah, you point out the 9 of 10 passes. If you look last week at what we did against Army, he attempted 43 passes. Now, some of those came in the fourth quarter when we were down by multiple scores, so you sort of had to throw the ball. But really not a good mix of balance for us last week. And really last week we tried a lot of vertical routes. I thought we did a much better job today. You could maybe argue we overcompensated as we ran 51 times compared to just 10 pass attempts. I think we quote unquote attempted to pass a few more times, but the play broke down and Wolford ended up taking off. But that's what we had to do with Wolford. I mean, he is limited in the sense that he doesn't have the deepest, the best deep ball in the world, but he can manage the game if put in position to succeed. So I thought we had a good game plan of doing some short to intermediate passes and then use him in some read option. He has 64-yard touchdown run. So that's how we can utilize him. And that's why I think Wake fans were frustrated last week with the game plan, but definitely happy about the game plan today against Virginia.
The defense, and in particular, as we've talked about throughout the season in the early going with some key victories to get this thing jump-started for 2016, the defensive line, kind of a mainstay in this, but took a step back in a particular sense against Army, giving up about 240 yards rushing, but bouncing back rather well today.
Yeah, I thought the defensive line, they had some really big plays. They had a number of sacks, a number of consecutive sacks that put Virginia in, third and long situations. I believe on the Jesse Bates pick 6 that put Wake Forest up for good at 27-20. I believe that was a result of a sack on second down, which forced them into a difficult throw. And there was also pressure on that play as well that's sort of unaccounted for in the stat sheet. So I thought the defensive line played well today. There were a few times where I thought they probably could have gotten to the quarterback that they didn't, and they couldn't finish the play. But the defensive line's definitely been a strength for us throughout the year.
As you mentioned, Robert, Louisville and Clemson back-to-back, that's about as difficult as it can possibly get in college football, not just in the ACC, in college football in back-to-back games. But I'll not have you look forward too early just because let's savor the victory. You get to 6-3. That 6th win gets you bowl eligible, and with a date against Boston College in the finale, maybe you finish out the regular season with a winning record and with some momentum going into postseason play. But it's got to feel good.
Yeah, it's excellent. There's a serious roller coaster of emotions in this game, up 17-6 at halftime, and then really a brutal start to the third quarter. Virginia goes down and score, then they get an onside recovery, and they went up 20-17 on really some terrible coverage. A blown coverage play, and you're thinking, here we go again. And then you're thinking, we got Louisville, we got Clemson, we're not going to win those games, all going to come down to Boston College. But Wake responded with a massive fourth quarter with 2 big interceptions that directly led to 10 points. So really exciting time for Wake Forest fans. Haven't been bowl eligible since 2011. So some really good feelings for the program.
Wake with a big win over Virginia today, 27-20. Improving Virginia squad despite the 2-7 record that has held up against some quality opponents in recent weeks. So a nice win for the Demon Deacons. And always helping us out on Wake football is Robert Reinhard from Blogger So Dear. Robert, we appreciate the time.
Hey, thanks, Mark. Pleasure to do it anytime.